Welcome back, troops. Let's tab 59. So, just out for a short tab, nothing planned, and electric vehicles popped. I don't know why, things just pop in my head. Electric vehicles. Now, how's that going to work with the military? So, just a bit of quick background. In the UK, the last government said that by 2035, I think it was, that the sale of new vehicles had to be electric. There's no more, there's a ban on petrol and diesel engines vehicles being sold, cars and vans anyway, brand new in the UK. The current government want to roll that backwards a bit to 2030, just 5 years away. So that's what's going to happen. Either 2030 or 2035 in the UK, you will not be able to buy a brand new petrol or diesel car or van. They've all got to be electric. You still have a second-hand petrol diesel car, but you can't, and hybrids, but you can't buy brand new ones. So now the military, well, the MOD, the Ministry of Defence, has said that our white fleet vehicles, now if you don't know what I mean by that term, in the UK Armed Forces, we refer to any civilian vehicles that we've got as white fleet. So staff cars maybe, general purpose cars, pickup trucks, minibuses, coaches, vans, all those sort of civilian vehicles, we call that white fleet. And obviously our combat vehicles are called the green fleet. So the MOD has said that by 2027, the white fleet, MOD white fleet, will be fully electric by 2027, just 2 years away. But what about our green fleet? Well, we're already testing. We've been trialling it for some time now. I think Ajax and Boxer are two of our newest fleet vehicles, green fleet vehicles we're got. They're going to go possibly hybrid initially. They're not for a while yet, they're testing it. And we've certainly got some special forces vehicles that are fully electric, which is great for reconnaissance. Little light electric vehicle, electric motorbikes or electric bikes they're using. Certainly out in Ukraine, lads are whizzing around the battlefield on electric bikes. Nice and quiet, nip about. So we're testing vehicles, and I think they're great for reconnaissance, great for surveillance, great for special forces, small units. The stealth capabilities those vehicles have got alone, it's worth their weight. You slide around the battlefield silently, and of course, you shouldn't be giving out so much of a thermal image. Yes, there's going to be a heat source from the vehicle, obviously with a battery, etc., but nothing like a combustion engine. So the thermal image will be cut right down and reduced, these electric vehicles. Great. When we start to talk or think about the bigger stuff, now I'm talking about your infantry fighting vehicles like Warrior, other vehicles, Bulldog, Ajax, all these other personnel carrier type vehicles, support vehicles as well, and the Boxer type vehicle variants. Getting those to go fully electric, that's going to be a way off, I think. I think they'll start with hybrid. I think they'll bring a hybrid version out. Main battle tanks, well, good luck with that bad boy. That's going to be a real challenge. It's going to be a challenge to get a Challenger 2 or Challenger 3 to be fully electric. I can't see that happening. I mean, the amount of power that's going to be required and the extra weight. What is a Challenger weigh? What's a Challenger 2 weigh? It's got to be 50 odd ton on it, 50 ton tank. Imagine, yes, you can strip out all the gubbins, the gas turbine engines, etc., but when you put in these batteries, they weigh an absolute ton. Even on private cars, you know how much they weigh. Of course, you get great acceleration with electric motors, and the reliability is not, they don't need so much maintenance, there's not so many moving parts as a combustion engine. But the weight alone, adding these batteries to a main battle tank, that's going to be difficult to counter that. And of course, what range are they going to get out of them? How are they going to get resupplied on the battlefield? How are you going to recharge these tanks, these main battle tanks? I can't see that. I think that's going to be a challenge for the future, it really is. I don't think we've got the technology yet. We haven't got the battery technology yet. And charging them on the battlefield, they'll have to have some sort of mobile charging system where, you know, like the old pod refueling, you rolled through rolling replen and just filled your tank up with diesel and off you went. Didn't take a few minutes, did it? But charging up batteries takes a long time. Until we've got some sort of really rapid charging system and batteries that can take that and hold that capacity, I think it's a way off in the future. Now, some people are arguing that main battle tanks are a thing of the past on a modern battlefield. That's another conversation altogether. But I do see what people are saying. When you look at the Ukraine war with Russia, you see these tanks, these T-72s, which cost about $1.2 million US. You see these T-72s getting taken out by some drone from Home Bargains. You know, little tiny drone with a grenade on it. Someone's left the hatch open, and next son, you're out of there. That's you done. Don't leave your hatch open if you're in Ukraine. But it's true. I mean, the great big tanks worth millions of dollars getting taken out by very cheap weapon systems. Now, that's always been the case to a degree. If you think back, certainly you veterans serving out in West Germany in the Cold War, we faced the Warsaw Pact. NATO faced the Warsaw Pact in northwest Germany, where we were anyway, in Germany, West Germany. There's a massive amounts of armour. The Soviet Union, the Warsaw Pact, had thousands of tanks, and we didn't have that many. We couldn't match them tank for tank. They had the quantity, we had the quality. But what else we did was we made sure we had things like the Americans introduced the A-10 tank buster. That thing could go around wiping tanks out on the battlefield. We had Milan, wire-guided, man-portable anti-tank system. And of course the tow system we had on the Lynx helicopters, I think it was. So we had these other smaller, cheaper systems. Shoulder launch stuff like the old Carl Gustav, etc. We had all that cheaper stuff to take on this massive threat of Russian armour or Soviet armour. Now, getting back to now, as I say, T-72, $1.2 million US. A Javelin missile, which defeat pretty much any tank, is something like $216,000 compared to a Russian tank that's worth about $1.2 million. So tanks are more vulnerable, as you've seen. I think we still need main battle tanks. You're going to have them. They're going to come up with better systems of protection. We've already got reactive armour. There's also these other systems they're introducing. Can't think of the name off the top of my head, I haven't planned it, where the tank can fire out something to intercept incoming missiles. But you're definitely going to need main battle tanks because they're a great way of punching through enemy defences and holding ground as well. So maybe the future of tanks is they become unmanned main battle tanks, especially if electric, because if they're a fully electric main battle tank, you've got to have all these systems inside for the crew, air conditioning, radio equipment, all that's draining energy and power out of those batteries that are so valuable now you've gone fully electric. So what if the main battle tank take the people out and go fully automatic? Automatic loading systems, you can drive it from miles away in a port cabin with a PlayStation controller, just like they do with drones. And maybe you've got tanks moving forward, unmanned main battle tanks moving forward, and a few kilometres behind an armoured personnel carrier is some gadget with a PlayStation controller operating these tanks on the battlefield. I think we'll always need tanks, but I think obviously as time goes on, electric vehicles, and I think maybe they'll become unmanned main battle tanks. We're still going to need them. They're important, main battle tanks, very important part of the battlefield. But like I say, they're getting knocked off in Russia, aren't they, in Ukraine? Both sides losing tanks. Interesting. So, that's my little waffle off the top of my head while I was walking around here. I've got to start planning my videos better and I get my facts straight. But anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. I'll be interested to hear your thoughts on main battle tanks, the future of them, and how's that going to look? How are they going to do the? I want to know how's it going to work. I want to know from somebody. I suppose I should Google it, but you lot are better than Google. How, if you've got a squadron of tanks out and they need recharging, right? How are they going to they park up somewhere and get recharged? And that's going to be a vulnerable point, isn't it, for the enemy to attack your charging system? I don't know. I'd like to know how it works, how they think it's going to work. Like I said, hybrid vehicles, I can see that happening, and maybe with the smaller electric vehicles, they may have a system where they can change the batteries. It might be like a pack, where you can pull up at a rolling replen, some Remy gadget jumps out with a screwdriver, a spanner and a hammer out his toolbox, pulls the battery pack out and slots a new battery pack in, and off you go for another 400 miles or whatever, I don't know. So let me know if you know anything. I'm sure you do. I'll be interested to hear. If you're new to my channel, you haven't subscribed, please consider it. I'm not saying do it, I'm saying consider it. So, till next time, troops, and it won't be long. Remember, stay safe and let's tap.